Welcome back to another episode of Thicc Boy Mafia. Today we're joined by a high-level competitive black belt Mike Kingrey. We talk about his jiu-jitsu journey and how his game has evolved and the health issues he's overcome along the way. Of course, we also get into wild debates like who wins in a fight, 100 men versus one gorilla. This one's packed with insight, laughs, and chaos. Let's get right into it.
Okay.
And walked, I think it was like 24 miles.
Oh shit!
So
Just in the trip total, or
yeah.
that's still a lot.
Plus, I worked out while I was there
And you still
and trained twice.
Yeah,
and still gained 10 pounds. So.
That's crazy. Oh, after you competed?
No, I didn't compete in Italy. It was just a trip. Yeah, it was a trip.
Oh, that's tight.
I went over.
Were you drinking?
Yes. Yeah.
That's probably where the weight came from.
She's lying.
I drank a little bit in Portugal. I would say not as much.
Did you have some of the sangria?
Yeah. There's a lot of good wine in Italy, so you can't say no. It makes it tough.
Do you always go to Euros?
No, that was my first year.
This was your first year last year?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
First year. It was good. Yeah, I'm definitely going to go back. Don't know if I'm going to do it next year. We'll see. I'm trying to go do Brasileiros.
Oh, the one in Brazil.
Yeah, and also I want to go do the Asian Championship.
Oh, okay.
Because I've never been to Asia, and so it's a good reason to go travel and compete at one of the bigger tournaments and make a trip out of it. So
it's a good idea.
Yeah.
I want to go to Inamari. His gym is in Japan.
Yeah.
And you can just go and like drop in. I think I just got to contact him.
You just want to go learn the roll from the man himself.
I think, that'd be tight.
Teach me how to Imanari roll.
The only thing is
I learned it right from him.
I need to worry about covering my tattoos is a big issue.
You have to cover your tattoos?
Yeah.
Do you train over there?
No, I don't know the rule. A lot of them, like they just don't want to see them.
He's part of the Imanari's part of the triads, and if you got the wrong tattoos,
well, that's
really?
That's the Chinese.
I was like, yeah.
I was like, that's the Chinese mafia. So
Interesting.
you'd. It just depends on where you're at.
What if they don't speak any English?
You have Google Translate. Yeah.
Very true.
And my sister's been learning Japanese. Yeah, so it's been. So she's also coming with us.
She speaks. Wait, say that again.
My sister's been learning Japanese, so yeah. So
exciting.
So I'll let her deal with all that stuff.
It's exciting. And you guys leave a few days?
Yeah, we leave on Wednesday and we'll be gone for 2 weeks.
It's exciting.
So if you guys want to rob my house, now's the time.
Okay. Noted.
That's why we don't do this.
Do you know where you live? All those games, everything.
All those
Funko
guns.
Pop.
All those guns.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's quite the stash.
Yeah. Well, we have somebody there, so we don't have to worry about that.
Well, it's only one person.
Huh? Yeah, that's true.
You take a team that way? No, you can't take us. They can take us through.
No, but there's some extended mags that probably could.
Jeez.
Who wins, Mike? 100 men or one gorilla?
I'm going to go with the gorilla. I'm going to go with the gorilla.
I think if they
Even how about 100 U's versus the gorilla?
I'm still going with the gorilla.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I did see it's a bear, right? Those like 4 wrestlers against a bear.
Yeah.
I mean, they didn't kill the bear.
Was it like a bear cub or a full grown?
I think it was a full grown bear. Jesus. And like.
Those Russians
Like
are crazy.
I think 2 got like really hurt, and then like the other 2.
Now was the bear hungry?
Yeah. See. Yeah.
Did the bear have its claws?
It did. Yeah. They're tore up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. They but they survived.
All right.
Yeah, no.
I think if you guys all rushed at the same time,
They survived. I mean, I don't know. You could potentially overwhelm it. I don't know. But a few people are going to die.
yeah.
Sure. Yeah. Count me
And
lost.
several others are going to be severely injured. So
You know what I did see? I watched that race, the sperm race. That was so dumb. Did you hear about that?
No.
I guess 2 dudes just like
Thank you.
left the
He's not a
sample.
degenerate like you. Brother.
Like they left the sample and
Because
like
I've seen
they
it.
tried to see whose little swimmers could win to. What was it, like a fake egg or something?
Yeah, something.
Yeah, so it's like
So
they
it's
raced.
like a goldfish race, but with sperm.
Yeah,
Okay.
sort of
Yeah.
like that. A very
We
Thailand.
used to have
kind of
those at the
thing.
college bars. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sperm races?
No, the goldfish race.
I don't know what that is.
Oh, you put your little goldfish in it, it goes to the end, and then you win free drinks and shit. I don't know.
See, that sounds something like
They also do a beta fish fight clubs.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Beta fish fight clubs?
Yeah, the beta fishes are the ones that fight.
Yeah.
So you can go to Walmart and buy a beta fish or wherever you find them, and then they take them in, and whoever's beta fish wins, they bet on the beta fish.
It's
Never heard of
the fun of college bars and
There was like
the
one they were
chaos.
saying that the dude was like, because he was running it, he was making like a ton of money.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if he got busted, but it was pretty funny.
I'm sure.
Yeah, eventually somebody's gonna
It's
snitch.
definitely a guy thing. That's the weird shit you guys do when you're bored.
Oh, we had a beta fish. My mom had one, and or we had one at the house. I don't know how we got it, and then she thought it'd be a good idea to give it like a female, and she was like, they had them separated, and she goes, "Oh, to have a friend, because usually they'll just like kill the males, but I guess if they're not ready to mate, they just kill the female." So he beat the female to death, and my mom never.
It's quite the life.
It's a very sad story.
Oh, yeah.
Animals are savage.
She didn't have the sandwich wasn't good enough, I guess.
Welcome to the Thicc Boy Mafia.
Animals attacking, killing each other. Welcome, guys.
It's been quite the debate online. So my social media has just been blowing up with the gorilla versus the 100 guys debate. So
what about like that world's strongest man, the guy with the tattoos? Like
Eddie
yes,
Hall.
Eddie Hall.
Yeah.
What about someone like that, his size? He's like 400, 500 pounds, right? How much is a gorilla? 600?
I don't know.
If you could replicate 100 of that guy, then
Who's like
okay,
who's like 1% of the 1%.
Right.
Yeah.
The 1%,
Yeah.
who's like
That's
1
true.
in a million.
yeah, I don't think that's
but
gonna
I
happen.
do agree, like 100 average men, like that's because like their weight's like 160, 180,
Yeah,
right? They won't. Yeah, I don't think 100 of them will be a gorilla.
yeah, no,
No.
Yeah, not 100
they
average
won't
men.
rush it.
Yeah,
100
like,
average men.
you gotta be trained like in something.
Right.
Like, give me 100 guys trained in something.
Right.
Okay, maybe, but like 100 average guys off the street, no, I don't think they.
And do they all go at once, or they come in waves, or is it one by one?
I mean, that's where you got to have a better strategy than the gorilla, right? Like,
That's true.
Like, got to use that big human brain and put it to use.
Lack thereof on mine.
It's too much work. Just
I don't know.
running
I think
away.
like you do the thing like in elementary school when you go like behind someone and you push the gorilla, and then it freaks out. Yeah.
Somebody
get
flanks
tripped.
it, runs behind it,
Yeah.
tap it on its shoulder, it turns around, and someone jumps on it, takes its back, goes for the RNC, tries to finish, gets their arm ripped off.
Yeah.
I was
Then the
gonna
next
say,
guy tries.
I
Tire
think
the gorilla out a little bit.
This 30-inch neck.
there's a Dave Chappelle. Who's he? I think he's talking about like how AIDS got started, and apparently it's somebody fucking monkeys. But like he's saying like that monkey will rip your dick off and throw it in the tall grass. He's like, and you'll never see it again. He's like, that thing will beat the shit out of you. So that always every time they bring up the gorillas versus the one person, I think of that.
I heard a guy say, if there's 100 fresh blue belts, like
Oh Lord.
like those that
They
are ready
all
about
run in
to
so confidently, too.
Exactly. That's the thing.
So confidently.
Confident, fresh, confidence up.
Like, I'm the shit. I got this.
That's how you beat the gorilla.
Yeah.
Fresh blue belt.
I think if you throw in, a couple spazzy white belts, that could help too, because
Spazzy white
they're the
belt.
wild
Like
the wild card, right?
Like,
3, 4.
like a 3-4.
They're the first 20.
Yeah, just send them in first. They'll probably inadvertently like break some of the gorilla's fingers or something.
Oh, there you go.
A few minor injuries there, from
Knee to
the
the
spazziness, and then you can send in your wave of blue belts and all their confidence and glory.
Yeah. I like that. That. White belts first, 20, about 20, and then
If you want to send
They're the sacrificial lambs anyway.
They
Yeah.
get the very end. Like, oh, you have to fight the gorilla today?
The purple belts come riding in at the end, and they take the credit for everything. And they're like, "Yeah, you're welcome."
let's get the warm up.
Yeah,
takes the gorilla's girl,
Oh my god.
and the brown belts show up rubbing like Ben Gay on her
Bending
elbow.
all over the body and freaking taping everything. Everything hurts, man.
Everything hurts me now too.
Oh man, it sucks.
You can't do
I'm
that
always
yet.
tired.
Huh?
You can't do that yet.
Oh,
You got
yes,
a
I
ways to
can.
go.
Huh?
You got a ways to go.
I know. I don't have enough kids yet.
I don't have any.
Yeah,
You need
same.
More
So
stripes and
tired.
belts.
Huh?
You need more stripes and belts.
That's true.
Do you have any?
Stripes?
One?
No, I got a couple. I believe I have a couple. I'd have to check my belt.
Blue belt for a while too.
How long have you been a black belt, Mike?
Let's see. Into my 3rd year now. So February was 2 years. So yeah, 2 years and 3 months, I guess. Is that the correct math? It's May now?
2 years.
Yeah.
It's May now?
A little
Yeah.
over 2 years.
So,
Nice.
yeah.
Cool. Where did you get it from?
I got my black belt from Flavio Almeida in Phoenix.
Okay,
Yep,
Phoenix.
yep.
Hot as shit over there.
Very hot. Very hot. Yeah.
Well, you just moved from one hot place to another
I
hot
did.
place. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
were you like prepared when you like it didn't feel like any change?
Oh no, it's actually a little cooler here. Like
Yeah, because they
Yeah.
Went to Phoenix, really?
oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
they
When
have
I first moved here, everybody was like, "Oh well, welcome to the heat," and then I tell them where I was from. And they're like, "Oh, never mind."
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah, like he's
that's,
acclimated.
that's all good.
Yeah, because sometimes
I'll be all right. I'll
they'll hit, like,
survive.
120 over there.
Oh.
Yeah, yeah. It's like I would say most days when I like look at the forecast here versus there, it's between 5 to 10 degrees cooler here on average. So it's not a lot. Like if it's 115 in Phoenix, it's usually like somewhere between 105 and 110 here. But so it's not a huge difference on most days. And then some days it's the same, but typically it's just a little bit cooler. But yeah.
Dude, we were in San Diego and they were complaining about how hot it was. It was 79
I know.
degrees.
Fuck that. That's
They don't. That's just when you've been living in your bubble for too long and you
Yeah.
don't realize like how good you have it. You're just like, you're jaded.
Yeah.
You're jaded.
I
Like,
definitely don't own any real cold
You know,
clothes. Like,
yeah.
I'm going to tell you that right now.
like 79 is
I was
hot.
complaining
Like get a
yesterday
life.
because it was super hot, and I think it was only like 89
Where?
here.
And what?
Yesterday, I was complaining
Oh,
that it was
it
so
being
hot
really hot.
yesterday.
You just
but
haven't
I just
acclimated
haven't
yet?
acclimated
Something?
yet.
It's
And my
good.
drive into Fresno from Oakhurst was just direct sunlight.
yeah.
Like 90s, right? Next week, I think I saw.
Yeah.
Just sucked.
90s.
Got a little bit of a break this weekend with the 70s and then like
Back to the 90s. Yeah.
gonna be hitting it hard next
Well, I'm not
year.
going to miss that. So.
Yeah, so
I'm not looking forward to it. It's going to suck in the gym.
Yeah,
I remember
that's what I was
so
thinking
nasty
about.
in there.
Remember
Yeah.
we went to Big Bear and we were like coming back into like Bakersfield? And I could just feel the difference in the heat. Like when we like got past
Oh,
a
yeah.
certain point,
Yeah.
it's just
Yeah,
like
that
if
was
you can feel
rough.
the difference.
yeah. Coming down from the elevation, it's
I know.
It's hard.
I think we
Yeah.
stopped at the gas station. I was like, ugh, and like just like went inside and got like something cold to
Yeah,
drink.
because we left wearing like sweaters and stuff too.
Yeah.
It felt so fresh.
I took a vacation in Paso Robles,
Oh, nice.
and it was hot, like 110 hot. And then I think it was about 110. It was hot. It was really hot because we went wine tasting and we were outside
How cute.
and it was boiling. But then we drove to like the beach. What beach was that?
Pismo's
Cayucos?
near there. Oh.
Is it,
Oh, okay,
is it?
okay.
I don't know what's one of the beaches that's right there. And it was like 60 degrees. And it was cold, and we were cold. We were
And like it's just an extra hour and a half.
yeah, no, it was like 30 minutes. It was like
30
it was like 30, 45 minute drive.
Oh, that's
35 minute drive.
nice.
So like that much like difference. And
That's how
just,
much
like,
that ocean breeze makes a difference.
Yeah,
It was like cloudy. It was like no sun.
that's so nice.
Yeah. 100 to like 60, like 40 degrees. I was like, damn.
Well, back to your black belt. How long did it take you to get it? I'm so sorry. We went off on a tangent super quick.
Oh yeah, how long?
Yeah, how long did it take you to
Anyways.
get it?
a long time. I don't even know. There's several breaks, I would say, that took place. So actual training time, I think, was right around 10 or 11 years.
Okay.
I feel like that's the average.
Um,
And then when did you start?
so I started training in 2008.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Yeah. And so like, it was like training 2
Yeah,
years,
that's it.
a year off, training 2 years, a year off.
Why did you take those breaks? What?
Relocation, like
Oh, okay.
jobs, like promotion. I get promoted, I have to relocate. And then, you're in a new role, you want to do well, you kind of focus,
Right.
you kind of got to shift and focus on the career a little bit and everything else going on with the changes. And so I take, a little bit of time off and try to get acclimated and make sure that, I had everything going well. And so yeah, and then in 2016, I got my brown belt. And 3 months after getting my brown belt, so at that point in time, I was with Amazon, and I got promoted and was moving to Chicago area, and had also just had my first child 9 months before the relocation, something like that. So 9-month-old child relocating to a new area, starting a bigger job that required a lot of travel, gone at least like 2 weeks a month. Really no schools close to me. And so like, I just knew like, I need to take some time off, focus on the family stuff. And, I'll just do it for a little while, like a year, like I've done before. And then next thing I knew, a year turned into 5.5. So 3 months after getting my brown belt, I took a 5.5 year hiatus and didn't get back on the mats until August of 21.
Wow.
Yeah.
After COVID. So like after COVID.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
That makes sense.
I'm sure that
Do you feel like
a little
COVID
bit.
pushed it like an extra year or something?
Honestly, no. I don't know if I would have got back to training if I had not had a medical scare about 6 months, no, about four or 5 months earlier. It was like May. It was like right before my birthday. So yeah, I chose kind of the gym, and I'd always been in the gym and bodybuilding too, to an extent. And just, I needed one of those outlets. So giving up jiu-jitsu, I kind of focused more on the gym and bodybuilding, and putting work into that. And it just works better with your schedule, right? Because at least for me, because like the gym, you can go to the gym any time of the day you want, like whatever your schedule. Where jiu-jitsu, you got to go to these classes at a certain time. And so it just fit. If I had to pick one and sacrifice one, the gym just worked better personally. So I just kind of focused on that, and, really just started killing it. And then next thing I knew, I was about 252 pounds.
No way.
And,
Was this muscle or like?
yeah. And, but I think genetically speaking, right, your heart's only made to support certain of your genetics. And my genetics were not that size, right? My dad was like 6 foot, 165 pounds. So, and on top of that, right, to get that big, there was a lot of performance enhancers that I was on. And so, at some point my heart said like, bro, what the fuck are you doing? This isn't going to work anymore. Mm-hmm. And, I started having like some breathing issues, and I thought like, oh, like, is my childhood sports asthma coming back? And I go to, urgent care on the weekend because it was just really weird. And then next thing I know, they're like, you need to go to the ER right now. Next thing I know, I'm checked in the hospital. Next thing I know, they tell me I have congestive heart failure. And it's like 2 weeks before my 39th birthday. So I was like, stop all the performance enhancers, stop, really lifting to add mass, stop doing this. And so like that kind of thing I've been focused on for the last 5 years was removed from my life. And so then it was like, as someone that's always just been competitive, and physical athletic hobbies, I grew up wrestling, all that kind of stuff. Right. And football, I was like, well, what now? I was like, well, the natural answer, I guess, is just back to jiu-jitsu. I go. And so after kind of getting everything worked out with the heart, feeling like everything was good, in August, so it was like, 3.5 months, 4 months after the hospital visit, I started training again. And so, yeah.
Wow.
Damn.
Crazy.
That's fucking scary.
Yeah. It was, trust me.
That's good that you caught it, because you always hear like stories, right? Like,
Yeah.
people like on steroids, and they like, oh, my arm's hurting, and like, they just play it off and then literally die.
Yeah. I mean, it was, I think like, luckily I just thought it was something easily solved, because it felt like asthma, because you get that fluid in your lungs, and, you're just having a hard time breathing. And a lot of times it only was happening when I was working out. So it kind of felt like sports, induced. And then I was like, well, this is kind of weird though, because my workouts aren't like strenuous cardio, but I don't know. So it's like, well, let me just go to the urgent care. Maybe they'll prescribe me an inhaler I can use.
Yeah.
That's what I thought was all.
Yeah.
That was going to be my Saturday, right? This is a Saturday morning. I go, look, that's going to be my Saturday. Nope. Next thing I know, I'm in the hospital for 3 days, and all these tests and needles and blood work and all these other things, and that's pretty wild.
Well, it's a good thing you knew to go in for a checkup or, I guess, an inhaler, which you didn't need.
No.
You needed more than
Needed
that.
a little bit more.
Yeah.
A little bit more.
A little bit more medical attention.
So
Crazy.
Jesus, that's fucking
nuts.
scary, dude.
252. So then what do you walk around at right now?
218
we're the
ish,
same weight.
220. Yeah. So
Thick boy.
Everybody.
yeah. So it's about 30 ish, 35 pound difference.
That's a big
Yeah.
difference.
So
Do your knees thank you?
no, actually, I feel like my knees just continually get worse.
Okay.
That's from squatting and doing leg press probably for way too heavy for way too long for like 14, 15 years.
So you said you're very competitive.
Yeah.
When you were bodybuilding, were you competing in bodybuilding also?
No, that was the interesting part. I never really lifted to compete. So like all my jiu-jitsu, I competed all the time every year from white belt on. I competed in MMA.
You did MMA?
Yeah. But like, I don't know. I guess the gym, that part of it was just for me. I don't know. And so like, I wanted to build, I want to work on my physique, but never to compete. That was just always for me, my health, my, whatever. And so, never had any desire to compete. I worked with coaches like on what I was doing and my training, but that was just so I could make sure I was doing things right and doing it correctly and having the best plan and wanting to achieve what I was working towards from a physique perspective. But yeah, so I never had any desire to compete on that side of things. It's always been, the grappling arts and things like that.
Did you ever do the poses and stuff?
No.
No?
Never took a posing class, but one thing I can tell you is it's a lot harder than you think it is.
Oh, I'm sure.
I've seen
like
people trying to do it. I know posing coaches that worked in the industry. It's definitely it's very technical, a lot more than you think.
Yeah.
It's a lot more than flexing a muscle.
Yeah, because it almost looks like they're like doing, because some of them, they're like, it's almost like, do this and tighten here. And now, like, they'll tell you, like, turn this much.
Right. Yeah. And then, like, breathe a certain way or a certain amount or hold your breath here. And then you got to hold it for so long. And then, there's a lot of technique to posing that I don't care to figure out.
The only guy I've kind of followed when it comes to bodybuilding is C-Bum.
It's like Sam
Is
Solik.
who?
Sam Solik.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of that
Yeah,
kid. He's the one that's, like, taking a bunch of shit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't know if you ever seen him.
I was gonna
No.
say.
Sam
just like-
Solik?
Yeah.
He's like
Sam
the
Solik.
new. He just got his pro card like maybe a month
okay.
ago.
Yeah.
With like a big YouTube following.
Yeah. Genetically, he's a freak. Like,
No, yeah.
yeah, every coach that talks about him, they're like, that guy is genetically a freak.
Yeah, I mean, there's guys like that like no matter what they did, they'd be big as long as they were lifting weights, and then everything else just kind of adds to it,
Yeah,
right?
it
Like
just feels
Ronnie
it.
Coleman was like that too. I think they say like bro could
Is that the guy that was like
scratch his head and grow muscle, but then you throw all the stuff on top of that, and he's just
Wasn't he a cop?
yeah,
Yeah.
like sheriff or something like that in
Yeah.
Texas. Yeah,
I remember seeing like a video. He's like an officer, and you can like.
Yeah.
I'm like, who the fuck makes those shirts for him, man?
yeah, specially fitted, tailored,
'cause
uniform.
he's huge. What's
Yeah.
that one where
Well, yeah, he was super tall too. Yeah,
when he's squatting all that weight, that
Yeah.
crazy ass amount of weight, and then they're like, "Why were you upset?" He's like, "I could have done more."
yeah.
And I was like, "You're fucking psycho, dude."
I mean, you got to be to
Yeah.
push to that level, right? Like it's
Competing against yourself. Kind of
yeah,
thing.
yeah.
Well, if you ever see the strongman, the one that you brought up, Eddie Hall, when he did that record one, like he started like bleeding from his nose.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
yeah. I remember
doing
that.
weights?
Yeah.
Yeah, he broke the record, the squatting record, right?
Deadlift.
Mhm.
Deadlift.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
when he lifted it up and held it, you just see like blood start coming out of his nose.
Yeah, like his eyes are all bloodshot.
And then they told him never to do it again, right?
Yeah,
They're like,
it's
"You're
crazy,
gonna
yeah.
die if you do that again."
Yeah,
And
Almost
he's like,
died,
"Okay."
yeah, like he literally almost died, but he got it.
Yeah, and then he's like, "But I'm probably gonna do it again next year and try
Yeah.
to break the record." So.
Probably.
It's him and who's he up against? It was Shaw, the other big guy, something Shaw, and then it was the Mountain from Game of Thrones, Bjorn Hawthorne or whatever. Or
Yeah,
Hawthorne.
yeah.
Yeah, they're all. Dude, did you see that video when he fought the two small guys? Have you seen that?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's so fucking hilarious.
No, I think I only saw videos of him sparring with who What was it? Conor McGregor? Like a few years
Oh,
ago.
yeah.
But I don't think I saw the one with the smaller dudes.
Yeah, like, I was an actual, like, MMA bout.
Really?
Like,
With the two small guys?
two small guys, yeah.
Dude, he like
That's fun.
picks one up, flips him, and just dumps him on the floor, dude. It's so fucking funny.
I've seen some wild ones like that on the gram and other stuff, like 4 women versus 1 dude. Like,
Yeah.
like
Seen those.
6 midgets versus 2 MMA fighters. Like, I mean, like, it's just.
Videos of like those
I
Brazilian
don't know what they're doing over there in Eastern Europe, but they got some pretty wild combinations.
I like
of,
the ice
who they
hockey
throw in there.
fight league.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's Russian.
yep,
And then the armored MMA pops up all the time.
yeah,
That one's weird.
yeah.
You know what I get stuck on? Baseball bat review videos. I don't know why. It's just dudes just
That's a weird one.
fucking launching balls. Like,
That's a weird one.
I don't
sounds like
know.
you gotta-
Maybe it's the new torpedo bats.
Yeah, that
Gotcha.
could be it.
Yeah,
I know there's
You're
one where
fine.
they had everyone go to a thrift store and see if they could find whatever the best bat they could find, buy it, and then see who could hit it the furthest, which was pretty interesting to me. But shit like that pops up.
Your algorithm must be so interesting.
Yeah,
and random.
it's that and like when they
Make
find
it
the
look-
honeycombs in like people's homes. That's been popping up a lot for me.
And what, honey, what? I'm sorry.
It's like those people that find bees like in the walls and they come and like cut the
Oh,
wall
yeah,
and
cut
remove
it
them.
out.
So a lot of that.
interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe it's
Yeah.
because I haven't been going to class.
I think you have a
Yeah,
touch
honestly,
of the.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it could be it.
Say it.
I mean, reels are a black hole anyway. Like you
Yeah.
just like next thing I know, I'm like, where'd the last 30 minutes of my life go? I got to put the damn phone down and
Yeah.
step
Oh,
away.
yeah.
Like
Reddit's
it's
the worst. I feel
horrible.
like Reddit's
It's
the worst
horrible.
one.
TikTok
Yeah.
for me, I just doom scroll. That's where
Instagram,
it's
that
at.
one.
Instagram for me, and then Reddit at night.
Yeah, because I'll go on Reddit and like hit a subreddit and then I'm like just looking through all this stuff.
Yeah.
I'll find like weird stuff and then fall asleep to it. I don't know
What,
why.
reading it?
Yeah.
Oh.
My favorite ones are like the Ask Reddits, and it's always weird questions. And I just go through all the comments.
Yeah, I'm a big comment person. Like I find the comment sections a lot like
Funnier.
entertaining or funny depending on what the topic is. Like if I see like a political article, like I know the comments aren't going to be necessarily funny, but the arguments I see, those are going to be funny because I'm going to see these two people thinking that they can convince each other to see each other's point of view, and neither one wants to do that, and they're just sitting there citing all these things. Half of which is made up from one side, half of which is made up from the other side. None of it. And you're just like, this is how you think quality time is spent. That's very interesting.
And then I'm there reading it.
But they're so intense, and then they get aggressive, and then they comment, and then it just, derails into just name calling, and you're like,
You know what's
what
funny?
is
If they were
going
like-
on here?
If they were like coworkers in a warehouse, if they would have those opposing
Yeah.
views, they would not treat each other that way.
No.
It's only behind because of the
It
screen.
is.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
It's so funny. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, because I've worked with guys who have completely opposite views of me, and we're still cool.
Yeah.
But then you always do that thing. Oh, except for him, he's different. Like he's cool.
Yeah.
It's
I have
easy
a
to
woke
depersonalize.
department where I work at.
Your
Yeah.
old
Yeah.
job?
We call them the woke girls.
What was it?
Woke
Where was this at?
at my job.
Your old
Over
job?
political views. Yeah.
No.
Like some of the girls were so mad with how the election went that the day after we're literally crying in the morning. And some of them went home. I'm like, grow the fuck up, dude. Who gives a shit?
I mean, I didn't mean to bring up politics in particular. We can just change
Talk about whatever you want.
Just change the direction
You can
here
bring whatever you want.
Anyway.
and go back to gorillas or something. I don't know. Like
So-
Sperm races.
How long does it take for you to edit your videos?
Oh yeah, you do that. You post stuff all the time.
it just depends on like what the topic is. Like normally, like I kind of have an idea. I don't think I've actually posted in a while now. I've just been like busy but I'll have an idea. I kind of try to put it together, think about it, and then, just lock and load. I mean, I guess I post a lot to stories. I don't know.
Is it easier to just post?
I don't know. Like, I feel like with that, you don't have to put as much thought into it. Like if you're going to put something up, I don't know. Like a story is just like, hey, look, this is what's going on, or here's a thought to me versus like, I don't know if you're actually going to hang something up there permanently. I want to put a little bit more into it, I guess, if you will. But I would say, I kind of come up with the idea. And then if there's going to be like voiceover or something, then I kind of work that through real quick and then just do the recording, and probably within, a few hours overall, Not sequentially, usually, broken up. But yeah.
On the downtime of your day.
Yeah. Downtime, usually
Toilet time.
early mornings.
Am I wrong?
Yeah. The acoustic's not right in there for voiceover. The acoustic's a little too lively. You can't do it in there. But you can, work on the post, I guess.
Yeah.
But, yeah. So I try not to invest, I guess I would say, too much time in it, because I'd rather be doing jiu-jitsu or something around jiu-jitsu or training or actually putting work into myself. It's kind of like a fun little outlet, I guess. Like I've always liked writing and kind of been creative in that way. And like when I was younger, I was part of some group in elementary school called Young Authors or some shit like that.
Oh, you might like writing prompts on Reddit.
But so like, for me, it's more of like a creative outlet to kind of express thoughts and also share some of the jiu-jitsu wisdom or just other wisdom I have from my journey of fitness and health and all those sorts of things, that I wish I had access to when I was, new or working my way more through the journey, as someone with a lot less experience.
So you write it and then you read it, or is it just in your mind? How do you usually come up?
Oh yeah. Like if I'm doing just a voiceover, that's easy. You put it on the screen, just read it. That way you can really put the thought on there. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's just like, I'll type it out on a Word doc or whatever, and just go, here's the thoughts, and I kind of edit it and kind of refine it a little bit and refine it until I'm like, that's the right.
About how many takes?
The sound. It depends. Sometimes, I'll write it and I'll be like, that's perfection. And sometimes I'll write it and I'll be like, well, that part sounds retarded. You sound like an idiot. I can't say that, can I?
Yeah, you can.
You can say what you want.
Did you see that video where that guy keeps saying like, yeah, you can't say the hard R, and the guy's like, what are you talking about? He's like, yeah, I said the hard R in front of my kids the other day, and he goes, what are you talking about? And like, he's like, can't say retarded.
That's what I'm calling myself. I'm calling myself that.
It's okay.
Mildly all right. I'm just like, that doesn't sound right, or that's kind of corny, or whatever, and then I just kind of, make a small adjustment, a little bit of edit here and there until I think it kind of hits the point I'm trying to make, and then, go from there. Yeah.
And the reason I ask is we do our intros and
it
takes us.
God.
Yeah.
Fuck,
I
dude.
hate doing the intro.
I think I did.
It doesn't help when
The one time I did it, I had
to
to re-record it, like 20 times or something like that?
Yeah.
I did.
He's like, hey, can you fix this? I'm like, okay, yeah, I fucked that up. Okay.
Yeah, I think the hardest part, like, is for me getting the timing down.
Okay.
It's like you want it to be in this like sweet spot of like usually like 60 to 75 seconds, I think. And then like, so it's like, can I say what I want to say in 60 to 75 seconds? Because you don't want it to be too long.
Yeah.
But you want to get the point across without it being too short and not actually, And so I think that can be the challenge, is like, okay, well, I got it, but now I'm like 10 seconds over. So what do I drop? Or can I talk faster and still not sound like an idiot while I'm trying to speed this up and make this whole thing 10 seconds faster, whatever it is. So, I mean, you can hit it, sometimes on the first try, or sometimes it's like, well, even though I thought I had it within the timing I was looking for, it didn't make it. And that's a pain in the ass, because it's like, okay, I'm going to cut this line, I'm going to cut this line, I'm going to cut that line.
Just save it for the next video.
Yeah. And then let me try this again. Oh, I'm 2 seconds over here. Fuck.
What about and then he's like, well, what if I do 2 stories?
There you go.
Yeah, you don't
Roll
want to put anyone to sleep, right?
Yeah. And then sometimes I'm just like, all right, I'm done with this for today. I'm going to go watch jiu-jitsu videos and study.
There you go.
Yeah.
How do you prep for like a tournament? What's your routine? Like a couple weeks out and even like the day of.
Yeah, so I think it doesn't change to an extent because I don't like having to like push myself or feel like I got to take it to a different level. That's kind of what's that saying? You don't have to get ready if you stay ready. And to me, it's just,
corny, but it's not,
it's just easier to a point to stay ready. I will like ramp up a little bit in the training, but not like I see some people do. So like my cardio stays pretty consistent, and then a couple weeks out, I'll start to just add minutes to the running versus where I'm doing my interval sprints and I'm walking. My walking breaks get shorter. My running goes longer on the sprints. And so I'll ramp that up, 2 to 3 weeks out. And then, same thing with like rounds. I'll try to do longer rounds, try to do more rounds per day. Part of that, I think too, comes from communicating with your coach, right? And letting them know, hey, I'm going to be competing. Here's the date. I just want to make sure 2 weeks out, like Monday, Wednesday, whatever days I'm going to be here, we're going to be training, specifically gi or whatever it is.
Take up the intensity a little bit.
I want to make sure we're getting more rounds, more intensity, more of this, more of that. And even maybe, can we focus on some situationals from these positions and they can usually help you out, right? Especially if you're one of the only people competing. Now, if there's just 10 people at school competing, maybe a little bit different, but, so I kind of ramp up the intensity that way, try to create a game plan, and try to, just make sure that mentally, I feel ready. Cause I think that's the biggest thing, right? Is like, going in if you put in the work or not. And so to be able to tell yourself, like, I did everything I could do, that just boosts your confidence that much more. If you slacked off, if you took this day off, you didn't run that day. I set out these rounds I could have done, and now I got to go and, fight 5 matches today when I only did, 4 rounds Wednesday. That's not a good feeling. So, I think it's that mental piece as much as the physical part, and they mesh in that way.
I agree. I think you need to get your mindset right. I mean, even if you're just going in and you say, what's the worst that's going to happen? Obviously, nobody wants to lose, but I think the communication with your coach is smart to have. I didn't even think of that before. To just say, can we kick up the intensity or do more competition style of training? That's really smart. And it works for everybody, too.
I appreciate that.
Some people hate it, but I think it's beneficial for everybody.
Some people do hate it, and, that's how it goes.
I fucking hate running.
You don't have to, you don't have to show up that night, I guess, or, you can sit on the wall, but I'm not going to sit on the wall,
I'll do crazy ass amounts of rounds. Like I'll start.
No, I'm not saying you, I'm just saying like a person in general who hates it, right? Like, or it's like, man, this is too tough today. Like it's,
I think it's good though. It shakes it up a little bit.
Yeah. And I think, if somebody else may be competing too, but they're not going to bring that up, or they don't know to bring that up, you're helping everybody who's going to compete in that competition or the next one or whatever, and then they kind of see, oh, this is what it takes. This is what I should be doing.
Yeah, because some days it can be longer drilling sessions when you kind of want more sparring rounds with everybody, which those situational training rounds do come in handy.
And I think that the other piece is like there comes a point where like I only focus on the A game, if you will. So somewhere around, 10 days to 2 weeks out, like in every round, I'm looking at one of two things. How do I get to the spot I want to get and execute the game plan I want to execute in each match, and make sure that happens and try to script it out just like I want it to go in that match. And if it doesn't, then to be able to examine what happened. Did I hesitate? What did I do? Or if I missed something, did I hit this move wrong? Did I do that wrong? Where did it go sideways? So you can kind of start to refine that game plan or be ready, right, with a plan A, B, and C as things go along, right? And so I think that makes a huge difference too. Knowing what you want to do, have that mentality to be first, and you're going in there and you're working that A game that whole time coming in. So you go out there and you're ready and you're confident, right? Because when you walk into a competition, you're not learning jiu-jitsu. You can learn where your game's got holes, but you're not learning jiu-jitsu that day. You're taking your best game and hoping it's good enough to get the job done. And so if you're not working that best game, preparing it strategically for that day, well, what's going to happen? You don't know. You want to know, or you want to at least think you can know, and that builds confidence as well.
I feel oddly motivated to go sign up for a tournament now.
I think in like 2 months I'll probably do it, or 3 months.
I'll watch you guys from
I
the
know.
stands.
I never make weight. But that's one thing I think I learned too in competition is don't try nothing new. Like don't do nothing that you wouldn't do in the training room, like in the competition.
Yeah.
So like it's not a place to learn; it's a place to bring your A game, like you're saying.
Yeah, 100%. And I mean, like I think there's nothing's ever, I would say, like a blanket statement, right? Like if I'm beating a guy 10-0, I got his back and I want to try some choke. I've never tried it. I might try it. But, if it's a close match or, it's on the line, you don't want to just try to maybe throw something out there, right? Yeah.
Let me go try it.
But at the same time, if, it's Hail Mary time and you got to throw something out there,
have to.
then, so there's a time and a place for everything. But yeah, I think, the more prepared you are, the less likely you are to have to try to do something crazy or execute something crazy or throw something into the wind and see what happens.
I've switched over to my B game before. When I hurt my ankle. I had to play guard. Fuck, I suck. I was so
just
pissed.
Different body types too. You guys play like a different style than other people do.
Yeah, he was helping me with probably like about a month ago. You were working that spider lasso. You were like if they're on their knees.
I tried doing that to him. It did not work.
I did it on somebody else. I didn't do it on him. I did it on somebody else.
Yeah.
No, but it reminded me that I hadn't done spider lasso since I started.
Yeah.
And recently, I mean, up until I got hurt, and then I took time out because I was sick recently. I was using it like that, like for like 2 weeks. I'm like, shit, I totally forgot I knew how to do this. But like, I think me and you were like just chatting. You're like, this is what I do. And I'm like, fuck. And cause I'm not good at guard, but that fucking spider, to like where you were hooking the ankle to the back of the person's like leg was fucking working so good. And I was like, God damn it. I was like, I got to use this more.
I know what you're going to do.
Well, here's the thing. You're not good at anything until you work it consistently. Yeah. So, I mean, just keep working guard.
But the last time I had used it was...
You're going to lose.
See, and the thing is, like, it was something I learned when I first started. Or, like, I was introduced to the concept. I fucking don't remember anything from, like, the first 7 months when I trained.
It's tough, too.
Huh?
It's tough,
hard.
too.
Yeah, and, like it's like, when you were telling me about it, I'm like, oh, yeah, I've done this before.
Yeah.
And it was just, it helped me out so much, like, that whole week. And so then I think I started playing a little bit more Spider Lasso that whole week, which I would like to go back to it because that's one thing I said I wanted to work on is some sort of guard, and because I fucking suck at that shit.
What is your A game?
Oh, God.
Fucking putting me to sleep.
It's okay.
I mean,
that's so funny.
I usually pull guard and try to work straight to squid guard. So like squid's my A game. And, I kind of came to that from a strategy of like, I looked at, my division and, Masters 3, super heavy. And I'd say 90% of guys, right, play half guard if they play guard, or super heavy. They're trying to stay on their feet and they want to play the takedown game and try judo or some sort of takedown because they don't want to go to the ground because everybody's big. So kind of my strategy behind really starting to focus on guard as I got into brown belt was part of it. Was one, I eliminate the risk of a takedown and giving up takedown points, especially because when you get to black belt, what you find out is at Masters 3, right, there's a lot of guys that have been training, especially from Brazil or even in the US now, been a black belt 20 plus years, right? And I've got my black belt 2 years ago. Like they've had a black belt longer than I've even been training all of jiu-jitsu, right? And a lot of them also did judo. And so they're also judo black belts or at least well-versed in judo, which I have a little bit of experience there, but not black belt level. So like there's a lot of guys that are really good at takedowns when you hit the black belt level. And why risk it? So go in, pull guard. Okay, well, what guard? Not the half guard. That's what everybody plays at this division and group for whatever reason, for the most part, if they're not trying to stand up. And so, like, why not throw out a more modern guard to them that a lot of younger and smaller guys use that you don't see. And I can tell you, like, it's one of the best investments I ever made, because, like, if I get there, I think I've won about 98% of the matches if I get to squid guard on them. And you know, I hit one of my two favorite sweeps usually, or, you know, come out of some kind of scramble, worst case scenario, but I'm ready for it because I've seen it all, because I play it so much training as I lead up to all these tournaments, and it, you know, and I'm ready. So, and if that doesn't work out, plan B is usually lasso, and then plan C is a deep De La Hiva or a half guard game from there, because that's usually, if plan A or B hasn't worked, usually I've probably ended up in half guard somehow as I've tried to work through these progressions, or they've tried to work through passing and kind of thwarted. So I do spend a fair amount of time working half guard as well, just because I've found, like, it's just a position you end up in a lot at this level for some reason. And so that's kind of the progression of what I go through when things are working, not working, get to the position I want, can't get to the position I want. Because sometimes I can't get to squid. Sometimes, you know, they see me pull the lapel out, they see me try to underhook, and then they just grab a little bit, like, hell or high water, whether maybe they know my game, maybe they watch tape or footage, but they're not letting me get that lapel across the leg and get that squid in. And after, you know, a couple minutes of fighting it, I realize it's just not going to happen. I'm wasting my time. I need to go to something else. That's when okay, let's go to lasso, or let's, you know, work towards something else, because I'm wasting time and energy here, and I need to score some points or do something. So
it's smart. Yeah. You have it all kind of layered out. Mine is just, I don't know.
Don't die.
Don't die.
Stay alive.
Don't do something stupid that they'll talk shit on.
I've tried, because I always escape when I let people have my back. I can't do that with this motherfucker.
You should compete. I really do. I think you do really
Every time it's the fucking hardest thing ever.
Yeah,
Just trying to, my back, like, I let him take my, because usually I let people take my back, and I find a way to escape from there.
Like a week ago, 2 weeks ago, fuck, he freaking stretched me out, dude. That was bad.
I got him in a heel hook, and I totally forgot until right now.
There's no.
Yeah, I mean, the back is, I mean, that's my favorite finishing position. So, I mean, once again, those things that you get at, you put a lot of time into, and it's just one of those things where I've progressively just gotten better and better. And whether I get the finish or not, most people don't escape the position, at least once I get to their back. And that's where I go to. I go to back, and I go for my pena choke. You know, and if that, and somehow I end up in mount, I've got my favorite couple subs there, and side control, same thing. So, but yeah, I mean, I'd rather be in back, and if I'm not in the back, I'd rather be in side control. Not a big fan of mount. No, it's just a little unstable to me. I feel like it's easier for guys to re-guard because your legs are so close. Yeah, and yeah, that's my opinion. I'll go to mount, I'll get my points, and a lot of times I'll recede back to side control after I get my mount points, because for me, it's easier to keep control and position and side control.
You do what you know and what you like.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that.
You know what? You're not wrong. I do feel like I can't do as much on full mount as I can from side control. Yeah, because usually from there I'll like trap an arm with the windshield wiper.
Yeah.
And I'll trap the arm, move it over, and then from there work whatever. There's like 3 attacks I can do from there. And it works. So, you know, I haven't got a paper cutter in like fucking 5 months. I realized that the other day.
I'm not rolling with you tomorrow morning.
We are at time, Mike. Any last words? Anything that you want to say to the people?
Man, putting me on the spot.
It doesn't feel like this shit went by hella fast.
Did.
Yeah. That was time.
Because I was like, damn, 50 minutes already? Yeah, that's crazy. Oh, any last words? Sorry.
No, I mean, I had a lot of fun. It's a good time.
Thank you, brother.
Oh, what's your Instagram handle?
Oh, at Michael J. Kingrey, Kingrey.
I don't know why I thought his last name was Kingsley.
No. Everybody misspells the last name anyway, because I think the more common spelling of Kingrey is Kingery, but I'm Rey, so I don't know.
Is that like English or
German?
German?
Yeah.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
Lots of educational videos too, huh? You had a lot of like jiu-jitsu educationals, little clips on there.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
go check it out, guys.
Motivation, some technique, whatever. Yeah.
Well, you definitely motivated Shireen into wanting to compete right now.
Also offer privates if you're interested in Fresno and Kansas City areas, because I travel back and forth between the two. Usually in Kansas City about 10 days a month. So yeah.
Oh, sick.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for hanging out with us today.
Thank you for coming through,
Appreciate
man.
it. Awesome.
Grub right now.
Sweating, dude.
Thank you. Bye, everybody.
It's Mike. He's making me sweat.
Mike or the?
It's just Mike. Just his presence.
Oh, Mike. I think it's the mic.
Oh, the mic?
How long was that?
That was over 50 minutes.
I was like,
Doesn't it feel like it was only like 15, 20 minutes?
yeah.
Always goes by fast.
The last one I did. It's crazy because like